after you, Sabin.
Yeah, thank you. So we're actually both from IBM, but we just met right now, which proves how big the company is. Um, well, we're on the infrastructure stage, and I'm a bit shocked that it's quite small compared to the others, but yeah, it's a developers conference, so people want to hear about other things, not really infrastructure. And I took note of that, and I went to on the event's Facebook page, and I saw that many of you have responded to a survey about what kind of topics would you like to hear about in this conference. How many of you have you responded to that survey? Okay, probably they're all in the other rooms because nobody responded infrastructure. But do you know which one was the highest ranking topic? Sorry? No, it wasn't. You can even check it now. Cloud? No, not cloud. No. The topic with the largest number of answers is actually artificial intelligence. Most people want to hear about artificial intelligence, or cognitive, as we call it. The week before coming here, I actually had a very hard time choosing a topic, because in the area of cloud we have so many things that we can cover, and it ranges from infrastructure to software as a service, and to different ecosystems of developers for cloud and platforms. So many topics to choose, but in the end I decided to go with the topic that was the number one choice in your preferences, and that's cognitive. However, it got thrown to the infrastructure stage. So, okay. So, how many of you have you heard about the Watson platform? Okay, quite a few. Do you know how it became famous? Couple of years ago, yes? Jeopardy. Yes. You know, the TV game where you give an answer and the participants need to come up with the question matching that answer. For many years, a lot of people believe that's an impossible thing to do for a computer. Obviously, you can use a computer to search, database to search for answers. But in that TV show, the concepts are so subtle that it was impossible for a computer to grasp that kind of skill. And let me just give you one example. Take, for example, the expression, outside it's raining cats and dogs. You all know that the meaning of that, right? And if you feed it into a computer with a normal search engine that does matching based on words and statistics and number of occurrences of different keywords in a text, you would get a lot of answers about cats and about dogs and about pets and so on. But the actual expression has nothing to do with cats and dogs. It has to do with bad weather outside. And for the first time in history, Watson was the cognitive computing platform that was able to work with such human-related concepts and not only with data as computers did before. So what does it do? Does it want to replace people in different jobs? I've seen this question a lot in our events, and because there are many applications. Let's say, for example, in medicine, Watson is able to check symptoms of patients and recommend certain treatments. Is it going to replace doctors? No, certainly not. It's creating a partnership between people in different jobs, like doctors, lawyers, researchers, and computing platforms. And what do you do it? Why do you want to do that? Because you want to do three things. You want to enhance, scale, and accelerate human expertise. And let's talk about, for example, enhancing human expertise. You go to a doctor, and usually that doctor has a specific specialty. Let's say he's a cardiologist. And you tell him your symptoms, and he's using his brain and all his knowledge from medical school and all his experience with previous patients and previous treatments, and he's going to, based on your symptoms, he's going to conclude that you have a certain illness. However, his knowledge is only limited in the area of cardiology. Imagine if you would feed those symptoms into a system that has knowledge from all the medical areas, like neurology and every medical specialty. That's simply impossible for a human, but with a cognitive computing platform, you can enhance this capability, and you can look for answers in areas that are too wide to grasp for one single individual. Second thing, you scale human expertise. I assume most people here work in IT companies like me, right? Okay, dumb question. And probably you work in a technical part of an IT company, right? Again, dumb question. But you're well aware that in today's IT environment, it is extremely important to follow rules, regulations, privacy laws, export regulations, where you can send your data, where you can process it, and so on. So most IT companies have some sort of legal department, right? And they employ somebody who went to law school, not to technical school. And every time you have a question, you're designing an app, or you're solving a customer request related to one of your apps, you probably have to go to that legal guy and ask him, okay, does this comply with our regulations? Is it legal to do this? And so on and so on. Because only he has the knowledge in the company. Imagine by using a cognitive system that you would scale that kind of expertise to the entire company, and everybody in the company would be able to ask legal questions and get answers, not only one person. And of course, accelerating human expertise. One area where Watson was really, let's say, standing out of the crowd is research for cancer, or against cancer, if I would say. And this is not a new topic. Researchers have been trying to understand and cure cancer for decades. And they have been using computers for decades, but they have been using computers to store statistical data like medical tests and what kind of drugs they used on patients and databases of results and so on. So numerical data. However, these cancer researchers still need to use their own cognitive power of their brains to find out solutions, and their brain is limited. That's why research has taken decades, and it's probably gonna take many more years before a cure to cancer is found. However, by using a cognitive platform that can replace some of the thinking processes, not only the numerical processes that go on in cancer research, this can be significantly accelerated. We're not saying that we are going to find the cure tomorrow, and we're not going to say that those researchers are not needed anymore or they're going to be replaced by Watson, but the whole process can be accelerated by a partnership between people and a cognitive platform. Enough theory. So, What does it mean for you? So Watson is a very, very sophisticated and expensive platform. IBM has invested billions, and it has taken years to develop the algorithms that stand behind this platform. And typically you can access it in two ways. You are an IBM researcher and you work in one of our labs, or you are a very large corporation that has bought the platform for a specific purpose. Let's say a financial company looking for better investments. But now there's a third way. Some of the cognitive services provided by Watson are available on the cloud. And again, I'm not sure how many of you have heard about IBM's cloud development platform called Bluemix. It has been a topic at previous conferences. It's a platform where you can easily build, test, and run applications using composable services that are already available on the platform. Now, some of the services from the cognitive platform are available on this developer cloud. What does it mean to you? It means more rapid innovation. Imagine how much it would take for you to develop an application that understands human speech, or can make reason about, or can even translate from another language, or it can recognize different concepts or feelings. It would take probably a lot of time for you, and you would not focus on the purpose of your application. Maybe you want to do a simple app, but use some of these features like reading, hearing, talking, seeing, and more importantly, learning. So all you have to do now is to go on the cloud platform and access these cognitive services via APIs. A lot of people are already doing it. There are thousands of developers that are already on the cloud development Watson cloud platform. And let's get more into it, what you can do with it. There are four main areas at the moment of services that are available on the cognitive developer cloud. And they're related to human language, related to vision, so understanding what's in different pictures, related to human speech, and data insights. And we're just going to see just a few of them, some of the most interesting ones. New services are coming on the cloud almost every month. And again, it's very important to understand these are just a small subset of what the Watson platform can do. These are just some of the services that have been exposed on the cloud and are usable even for free for developers. What you can do with them, a lot of the use cases we have so far have embedded some of the Watson services in existing applications, and you can see here, for example, a portal web page where you have the dialogue and the natural language classifier services used for a Q&A section on the portal. And then you have a very interesting service called Personality Insights that enables you to understand the personality of your customer. So this is just an example of usage. The real power of these services is that you can combine them. You can combine several of them to create a full application. And this is, for example, an interactive Q&A system. First, you use the speech-to-text module to convert human speech in written text. Then you use the language classifier to get to understand the concepts that the user is trying to communicate. And there is a dialogue service that can carry on a human-like conversation with the user. So just by using these 3 services, you can already create a Q&A app. Of course, what you need here, and what would be one of your most important contributions, is the content behind. So Watson gives you the tools, the platform, but in order, for example, for the natural language classifier or dialogue modules to function, you need to feed a lot of content. So, for example, if you're building this Q&A for a customer service application where customers log on, or they speak to, actually, because you have the speech module, and they ask different questions, support questions about your, let's say, website, right? First of all, you need to feed this with different articles and solutions to those questions. And it's very important to know that this is not a simple solution search engine. So it's not like these things exist for a very long time, and you have them on many websites and in many apps. You type a question, and based on the words that are in that question, you get an article from the database. And there are many algorithms that relate to how many times a certain word occurs or the class of the word. No, this is based on artificial intelligence, and more than that, besides being able to understand the concepts behind the question, it also learns and improves. So if you have answered, let's say, 10,000 questions, you can have an expert look through the answers provided by Watson, and you can curate that, and you can indicate which ones have been actually wrong. And next time questions are asked, the answers are going to be different. Okay, so what is it useful for? The applications are countless. You can use it from market research, asking questions, what our prospects will buy, or which customers should we target, what products we should offer. You could use it for business intelligence, and so on. Just 3 more minutes, okay. Just a quick run through the services. Dialogue is the one that I talked about. It's able to carry on a human-like conversation and reach an outcome. For example, Hilton is using this for customers to ask what they can do in a certain area. And they're actually using a robot that looks like a human, but behind the whole cognitive process that answers the questions is Watson. Natural language classifier is able to understand concepts from text. It turns text into meaning. Retrieve and rank, it's more than just a search engine. Document conversion actually is not cognitive. It's something that exists and it's very simple, but it's something that you need for cognitive. In order to make an application that answers questions, you need to feed it with a lot of data. And in order to feed that data, you have to convert it from different formats. And on the IBM cloud, you have a service that can do that for you. So when you're building your cognitive app, you can just throw in this document conversion service and forget about writing your own code for a PDF, HTML, doc, and whatever. Personality insights, one of my favorite. You can actually go and check the demo. You put a piece of text that you or somebody has written. It has to be quite long, so a tweet is not enough, but an email or a blog article is more than enough. And it'll tell you a lot about your personality, your values, your needs, and different traits. If you're a aggressive person, if you're angry, and so on. And you have it as a demo on the platform. And the demo is very simple. It's just a text box where you can paste your text, and it will give you this kind of graph. Trade-off analytics used for taking decisions based on a number of factors. Language translation, pretty standard, I would say. Speech to text. Concept insights. Again, this has parsed the entire English Wikipedia and is able to understand different concepts. Like, for example, it can relate Bitcoin to Visa, the credit card company. The language group, there are actually 12 services in this group, all related to human language processing. Vision, all the services related to processing pictures. News, this is very, very interesting as well. It takes all the feeds of news in the world, and it allows you to query them via an API and find relationships. And many more services in beta. So, what you can do, just log on, explore what services are available. Then you have a number of labs where you can build custom applications based on these services, and they show you step by step how to build these apps. And then, third, you can build your own apps, and you can use, as long as you're using them for learning purposes, all these APIs are for free, and the whole platform can be used for free. So, I don't think there's time for questions, but I have one question for you. What will you build with this cognitive platform? Horoscope, okay. Thank you.